It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Philip Simon.
And I'm Candy Pinder, filling in for the beautiful and talented Anastasia Palacios.
Oh, yeah, she continues to do her thing.
Her thing.
She's traveling.
I am so proud of her.
But good to have you back, G.
Thank you.
You've been
So
missing
good
for a
to see
minute.
you. Yeah, I've
but I
been
see you've been
traveling.
all over the world, right?
I just came back from Atlanta. I've been doing stuff with the Progressive National Baptist Convention.
Yeah.
And like on the last day, we went into downtown Atlanta and we delivered over 100 sleeping bags to the homeless.
Wow.
We went underneath that bridge
Yes.
and talking to them and hearing their stories. It was wow.
It's a dose of life and reality.
Yeah,
And
I
the
documented a bit of
unfortunate.
it,
Yeah.
so I'll share it.
Yeah,
Probably,
yeah.
maybe even on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Yeah. Well, good, great. I mean, nice to have you back.
Thank you.
We've been missing you. We've been missing you. But listen, wasn't it a hot weekend? Huh? Wasn't it a hot weekend?
Hot. Have you seen the memes?
I've seen the memes. You know, listen, Dawn, I'm right there with you, my brother. It's rough. I mean, it's rough. It's a tough situation that in 2019 we're kind of still dealing with these particular issues. I hope that we can get over the hump.
But what will it take though? Because I understand I could be in my house, I
takes
could sweat it
electricity.
out, you know what I mean? Some people have a generator, but what about the people hooked up to like oxygen tanks and medical equipment? I actually had a friend who like 2 years ago had to be taken out of his house after 1 o'clock in the morning because electricity was going on and off.
Well, hopefully that's being dealt with one way or another.
Yeah.
Listen, people, I'm so sick and tired of these headlines, to be honest with you. But conflict resolution, man. Certainly we send condolences out to anybody who would have, the family of anybody who would have lost their life over the weekend.
MDs. The nation knows and loves MDs. When I was on the plane on Tuesday, he was on the flight with me. And we hugged, and he's always such a beautiful, pleasant person. But like you say, conflict resolution. And guys, just realize that you have something to live for.
Yeah.
You know?
So our condolences to the family of MDs and anybody else who would have lost a loved one this weekend. But again, it's a new day. It's Bahamas at Sunrise, right? It's Monday. We got Gandhi in the house. We got the other, I want to say old G over there, but Godfrey is here as well. He's
The real G.
Listen,
The real G.
Saturday was like the hottest day I've felt in a very long time. But anyway, we're going to deal
You know
with
what
it.
else was hot?
What?
The BT Awards. We can talk about that later.
I didn't watch it, man.
Well, neither did I.
But anyway,
Well, I saw the highlights.
you saw the highlights.
Yes, I did.
Listen, we've got a great show lined up for you today. Again, Investar Securities is here. I saw Hilary DeVoe in the studio, Titan Fund. We also have the most outstanding student. You're going to get to do that particular interview. The UWI School of Clinical Medicine and Research. They had their graduation yesterday. And we'll be discussing the budget debate.
Wow.
Budget debate here in our legal aid segment with Mary.
And also we have our Bridging the Gap segment, which I'm always so excited about. And then St. Agnes is having a fair this Saturday.
Yeah.
And so we're going to learn all of the juicy details about the St. Agnes Fair. But now, first, our
Here we
first
go.
look at weather with my main man of action, the Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you again. Good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at weather at sunrise. High pressure continues to dominate the weather across the islands, but to the north of us, a little mid-level trough could trickle off a couple of showers, particularly of Grand Bahama and Abaco during the afternoon hours. In your weather today, we're looking at partly sunny, again hot and humid, And there's a chance of a few showers, maybe some isolated thunderstorm, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas. Your height is reaching 92. Your heat index, it'll feel like 106. Tonight, a few patchy clouds around, so on the warm side, your low temperature going under 78 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados, 83 and 78. In Jamaica, 85 and 73. In Trinidad, 87 and 76. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 90 and 77. Across North America, Atlanta, 1973. In Raleigh, 92 and 71. In Miami, 1979. Dallas, Texas, 86 and 76. And Toronto, Canada, 62 and 56. As we go through the week, another hot one in store. Partly sunny skies, those hot and humid conditions, a chance of a shower, but expect a bump up in showers come Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to about 30%. Temperature daytime again will be in the lower 90s, at nighttime around 80-degree mark. That puts you up on your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. First-time Bahamian investors now have the opportunity to enter the capital and securities markets for as little as $500. Investar Securities Limited was launched just recently, I believe, on June 3rd. The Titan Funds, and here to tell us more about that are Ansel Watson, President and CEO of Investar Securities Limited, and a legend in the market himself, Hilary DeVoe, Chairman of Investar Securities Limited. Gentlemen, good morning. It's early. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Looking sharp, man. Looking sharp.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So we're doing another brand new thing. A lot of hype surrounding it. But let's start. Tell us a little bit about who and what is Investar Securities.
Investar Securities is a company that was established in 2015.
Yes.
And it has licenses under the Securities Industry Act, the Investment Funds Act, and the Financial and Corporate Service Providers Act. We're very similar to two other players in the market. I won't mention their names, but
Of course not.
the whole idea, this was the brainchild of Sebastian.
Yeah.
And he was able to get two very prominent businessmen to join him in the venture as principals, Lowell Mortimer and Scott Cadet.
Okay, excellent. So, you have Titan Funds has the two different types of funds available, correct?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, explain those to us.
Yeah, the two funds are the Titan Balance Fund, and the other one is the Titan Fixed Income Fund. Now, there's been a lot of buzz about the Titan Balance Fund,
Okay.
because that's the one that is geared towards all Bahamians throughout the archipelago of the Bahamas. And you can invest with the Titan Balance Fund for as low as $500 a share. Titan Balance Fund will be investing in Playtech Systems, which is the parent company of Island Luck.
Okay.
So for the first time, the ownership of the gaming industry is being expanded beyond the license operators, but through an investment vehicle that enable Bahamians to be indirect investors and participants in the earnings from the gaming industry.
Okay, but is that so that's an investment essentially into Island Luck?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, well, Island Luck is a component of
it.
the portfolio of that fund.
Okay.
Now, the balance fund is actually licensed as a standard fund or a retail fund, and all and sundry Bahamians can invest in that fund. The fixed income fund is a professional fund, and that means that only accredited investors can invest in that. By accredited investors, I mean institutional investors, and also individuals who meet certain criteria with regards to net worth and income.
Okay. Well, what would be the criteria in this particular instance? So you have one that's $500 minimum investment, and the other one would be larger than that?
Yes, it's $1,000. $10 a share. And the difference between the two is that the fixed income fund is a very low risk fund, investing in mainly government bonds and corporate bonds, etc. The balance fund has risk because it's investing in not only Island Luck shares, but also blue chip Bahamian shares that are listed on BISX, and other fixed income stuff. But basically that's it. Now, one of the reasons why the balance fund is significant in this process is there's a 500-pound gorilla in the room, and that is the Island Luck shares. And so while most of the other investments will yield between 4, 5, 6, or 7%, Island Luck, given its financial success over the past 3 years, you're talking about a return on their investment of about 20%. So it basically boosts up the return on this fund.
How has the response been from the public? You had a packed room there on the 3rd of June, I believe, but how has the response been thus far?
The response in the Providence has been pretty good. Customers have been coming in every day. We saw a lot of calls and demand from Grand Bahama. So just last week, Monday, we opened an office in Grand Bahama. And that's been amazing as well. In fact, our subscriptions intake in Grand Bahama seems to be exceeding that in the Providence.
Wow.
This week, we venture on to other family islands. Eleuthera, Abaco, Long Island, Exuma.
Is there a figure in mind? Is there what are you seeking to get in terms of, or as many as possible?
As many as possible, I would say.
Okay. Okay. All right. So the obviously the offer is open. When does it close?
Well, technically it closes on July 3rd.
Okay.
We believe that will be the closing date for the balance fund. But because the fixed income fund needs a roadshow to deal with these accredited investors, we may actually extend that closing date.
What makes this different? You mentioned some of your other, we won't call them by name, competitors, et cetera, but you know, I guess the distinctive part about this obviously is the inclusion of Playtech in one of them. But is this a different than what we would have normally seen in terms of investing in the capital market, securities market?
No, it's not different. I think when you look at the fixed income fund, we're looking at the same types of investment opportunities that the other companies are looking at. The only difference really is with the balance fund, and the fact that you do have a very successful company's shares that are being put into the mix of the portfolio of the fund.
So Titan's Investar has been around for a couple of years now.
A couple of years, yeah.
What would be next in terms of you know, any additional funds, any additional plans that you have for the future?
Yes, this is our first product and service launch, besides our corporate services division. We're formulating some other strategies. But we like to release those
hold it on.
at a later time. At a later time.
You're not launching on Bahamas at Sunrise this morning, right?
No, we'll come back and do that.
But I think one of the things about Investar is that it has a lot of affiliate companies. And there are assets that these affiliate companies that they can actually provide investment opportunities for. For example, one of the affiliate companies have properties that they currently lease out to the government on a long-term basis, and they can use those properties and other assets to provide other investment opportunities.
Low risk. So just as we close now, so persons, if they are interested in getting more information or actually place an investment, how do they reach you?
Right. We have a website, and a lot of information is on that. It's called ivstar.com, www.ivstar.com. Like everything else, you can Google it. So you can Google Investar. You can Google the Titan Funds, and maybe even Google my name, and everything will pop up as well. Our offices at East Bay Street, Investar. We also partnered with Cash and Go, Carmichael Road and Rosetta. The Freeport office is open, and there's the other unique partnering with Greenleaf Financials for government employees who want to use that route.
Excellent. And the name, of course, is Ansel Watson. He's President and CEO of Investar Securities Limited. And Hilary DeVoe, Chairman. Gentlemen, listen, good having you on Bahamas at Sunrise. Wishing you every success. I think you're going to do it, actually.
Thanks for having us.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 32-FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
I'm Jennifer Basden, Group Sales and Marketing Manager for Bahamas Air, and it's my pleasure to invite you to experience Houston. From out-of-the-world excitement at Space Center's Houston, the gateway to NASA's mission control, to the over 10,000 restaurants representing cuisine from more than 70 countries. Houston has it all. Come, experience Houston with direct service on Bahamas Air. For more information on flight and packages, visit bahamasair.com.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm having the most interesting conversation with the gentleman in studio. And on Sunday, the University of West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research held its induction ceremony, and they welcomed almost 40 new doctors into the fraternity. Why did I say fraternity and then so many women are part of it? We have to work on that.
Yes, we do.
So it is this young gentleman right here who emerged the most outstanding student from the class of 2019, Dr. Colton F. Jones.
Yes.
I found out what your middle name is.
Yes.
Congratulations, doctor.
Thank you so
and
much.
welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a million questions, so let's see if we could go like fast round, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you also received the most outstanding performance in community medicine and most outstanding student in clinical medicine. Oh my goodness, what was the journey like to get to this place?
It was a very difficult journey. Growing up on the island, I drank well
What
water.
island?
San Salvador.
What?
Yes.
How many people live on San Salvador?
Roughly at 1,000.
Like 10?
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, I grew up with well water. I grew up with an outside toilet. We grew up not having doctors on the island.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 28 now.
You're 28, and you have that experience.
I had that experience.
Wow.
Yes.
You know about rock oven?
I know about rock oven way back in the day, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, continue.
Yes, so that coupled with not having a physician on the island, when I was 6 years old, I lost my cousin to a speeding vehicle. It took him 2 hours to get to Nassau.
Wow.
And at that time, he was proclaimed dead. I wanted to make a difference in my community.
That is such a powerful and compelling story. And to say a young island boy.
Yes.
This is like those stories that you hear about, like young Baintown boy. Okay, now we got to get to the lightning round. So the journey though.
Yes.
In school, you always knew you wanted to do this? You were very disciplined?
Yes. Yes, from I was 6 years old, I made it my goal to become a physician. I didn't do well in primary school or secondary school, but when I left for undergraduate in the U.S., I made it my goal to get as many A's as possible. Graduated from Clearwater Christian College.
Like biochem.
Yeah, pre-medicine, and then I was accepted to the University of the West Indies, Mona, Jamaica.
Oh, that's so good. And I know they have a campus here.
Yes.
And so, okay, wonderful. So you already said what inspired you. Your support system.
My parents, my grandparents, the entire community. We always say it takes a community to raise a child.
Yeah, real
That's
village.
exactly what happened with me.
Okay, and your specialty, what is that going to be?
So my specialty is eventually going to be internal medicine and possibly endocrinology or oncology.
Okay.
Yes.
So why? Tell me why.
Endocrinology because I want to go back to my community and make a difference. We have a lot of chronic non-communicable diseases like hypertension and diabetes that's prevalent throughout the entire Bahamas. So I want to make a difference in that aspect.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and you were talking about people who have a predisposition, like sometimes you're just born with it, I guess genetically.
Yes.
How do you kind of lessen your chances of experiencing the severe symptoms?
Yes.
What
so
can you do?
There's a holistic approach. It's going to start with proper dieting. By dieting, I mean a well-rounded diet, high in vegetables, high in protein, low in carbohydrates.
We don't do that until
No,
something
we do
happens,
not do
until
that.
you tell us
Yes.
this is what your diet needs to be,
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
Okay, but people should really consider that.
Yes.
And then have a treat every little once in a while,
Yes.
right? Okay. So now, post-graduation, what's next?
Post-graduation, eventually I'm going to be an intern at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Hopefully July 1st will be my first day. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, yeah, me too. Now, I know that there were just about 40 people who graduated. What was the ratio of men to women?
Yes, so there were about 30 women to 5 men.
Really?
Yeah, so we're a rare species now.
So it used to be the other way around.
Yes, yes.
What's happening? The women are just
The women
taking over the
they're
world.
coming up.
I love that. Okay, what do you say to encourage those who are in medical school to finish strong, because those nights, like the
Yes.
studying, and it is stressful. A lot of people drop out.
Yes. What I would say, just continue to take it one day at a time. Don't look at the end picture, but take it one day at a time. Pace yourself, surround yourself with encouraging people, and just continue to persevere.
Is there anyone in the medical field that you look up to?
Yes, there are several people that I look up to. Dr. Nelson Clark, who is a
Right.
psychiatrist.
Okay.
There's Dr. Phyllis Darville, who's the family medicine physician in San Salvador right now.
Right.
These are some of the persons that have really encouraged me.
I'm so impressed by you, and you seem to be so focused. And so
Yes.
when people talk about our Bahamian men, you are truly a bright light. I know that you're here to make a difference. And you talk about the non-communicable diseases. That is huge here in the Bahamas. And so
Right.
I just look forward to seeing what you do.
Yes.
I'm going to follow you on Facebook.
Yes.
Dr. Colton F.
Jones. Yes.
Congratulations on everything. I know
Thank
your
you.
family must be very, very proud.
They are.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise. So we will be back on Bahamas at Sunrise right after this commercial break.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. I telling you he's been on all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
New Providence Life Insurance Company wants to be your lifetime insurance partner. Through good times and bad, we are here to light the way. We offer educational savings plans, family plans for medical, dental, and vision, income protection to pay bills if you can't work, and a full set of plans designed for senior adults. New Providence Life, your beacon of security through every season.
I always wanted to come back to the College of Bahamas. I wanted to be a faculty. When the opportunity came for me to be Vice President of Operations, I said, well, let me try that first. It makes me proud because I was here before. I feel as if now I'm sort of like a beacon for those students who are here to say, hey, listen, I can actually be a Vice President. I can actually be one of the big leaders at the university. I'm Ronnie Stevenson, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. On this segment of Bridging the Gap, we're very pleased to be joined this morning by the Acting Director of the Urban Renewal Commission, Mr. Kellen Russell, and Mrs. Cheryl Knowles, Program and Special Projects Manager. Good morning. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I almost want to say back again, but it's my first time meeting you. How are you doing?
We're wonderful, thank you.
All is well, all is well, all is well. So urban renewal still doing its thing, and for those who may not know, there may be one or two of us out there that doesn't quite get the role and the purpose of urban renewal. Just briefly give us an introduction to what it is.
Sir, urban renewal has a very vast role, but I think it is important for me to say that under every administration, there is a particular mandate. And so under the auspices of the Honorable Frankie Campbell and our Permanent Secretary David Cates, you would find out that the main goal of urban renewal is to transform lives one community at a time. But we do that by making essential services accessible to the communities. If you look at the makeup of the centers, you would see that the police officers, the social workers are there. And so what happens is whenever there's an issue in the community, the police would have the intel to deal with matters real quick. The social services welfare officer, she would be able to identify issues. We have a link whereas we are able to go directly to the Department of Environmental and Health Services, where we are able to deal with derelict vehicles, trash, etc. So while we make government services essential, we have a link to almost every service in the city. We offer small home repairs, so if there are roof damages, there's a division within urban renewal, whereas we would go in, fix the roof of those who would be in need. We have the anger management program. We deal with the seniors of the community, after school programs. So here again, the role is very vast, but the main goal is to touch those of the inner city communities.
Okay, I was just about to say.
Yes.
And a big part of touching those within the inner city is the impact and hopefully a transformative impact that you can have on urban youth.
Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine. So you've got some summer programs upcoming, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, speak a little
bit
bit
about
about it.
do. On the 1st of July, our summer camp open in the 10 urban areas. Sudden Shores Flamingo Garden will be our newest one. This will be our first time in the area at Sir Gerald Cash. Now, what we try to do, we realize that when children are home in the summer, they eat a lot. So it weighs heavily on pockets, as well as to make sure that they're in safe environment, because also, you know, teen pregnancy, teen crime rate, stuff like that, we leave them to themselves and unprotected, some things happen. And so what urban renewal does is we create an environment that is strategic and constructive for them, so that they could be empowered also in the program. When they finish the 4 weeks program, they would be better citizens as well. Yes, and so.
So the 10 centers will be having this summer program. It starts at 9, I would imagine, and ends
2 o'clock.
And ends at 2 o'clock.
Yes,
All right.
it ends at 2.
All right. What can the students expect to be doing between those hours?
Okay.
What do programs look like?
What we do every morning, we bring in a guest speaker. It could be anywhere from empowerment, motivation, to crime, where we have the K9 unit come in, the drug unit come in. We have speakers that will deal with anger management issues and stuff like that. So that first hour is based on empowering them socially, to make sure that at the end of the program, we want to be strategic here, that we would have empowered them when they leave to be better citizens, and also to cope with anger, cope with conflict resolutions and bullying and so on. So every morning we have somebody come in and speak to them. And then we have what we call the craft hour. We also want to give them some skills. So when you leave, you would either know how to make jewelry, do some nice cushions, some craft work and stuff like that. So Urban Renewal used the craft hour to empower them. That some of them are even able to start their little businesses when they're finished, And so we also have performing arts. Each center will have either a choir director or a dance director. They will also be building up their talents. You know, while they're there, they're going to be getting a trade as well as a performing arts skill. So if you're a singer, you can walk away knowing that your craft has been perfected. If you're a dancer, you're going to walk away knowing that your craft will be perfected. We also have our band camp, which will strictly deal with musically inclined children.
Excellent.
And so,
that sounds like quite a program. Is there a cost? I mean,
everything is free.
Free of charge.
Everything is free.
Well, I imagine at some point somebody has to pay for it, right? But it's free for those participating. So this isn't just a government program alone. I would imagine that people are open. The Urban Renewal is open to partnerships with the community, partnerships with the private sector.
We are open to partnerships. However, for the most part, we cannot wait for private sponsors. We have to make sure that the government does its part to ensure that we give a healthy summer. So it is basically funded by social services and urban development.
But of course, if somebody wants to participate,
of course, we would accept.
Appreciate
yes,
that.
yes,
all right,
we would accept.
Independence is fast approaching. I know that We always look forward to this time of the year. Is there anything in particular that Urban Renewal is doing this year as part of the
Yes,
investment?
we are. Urban Renewal is doing our annual Independence Ceremony in the 9 urban areas. This ceremony brings independence back in the community. Urban Renewal wants to remind us who we are as Bahamians and what we should do. So this year we are going to be having areas set up where we're going to have Bahamian tea. And in every angle, we are going to be bringing out the old rake and scrape. We're going to, the ice scraper, whatever you name that these young children are unaware of. And so we really want the public to come out and participate, you know, and be a part of it. If you have some old stuff that you want to display as a senior citizen, to say your children don't know nothing about this, bring it on the park, bring it on the park. And so we have invited some of our junk canoe groups, some of our rake and scrape groups. We really want Bahamian stuff to happen on these parks for Independence, which is the 5th of July. That's when we're having it at 7 p.m. in all of the urban parks. If they're not sure, they can call us at 502-4450 for the summer camp as well as Independence celebrations.
Excellent.
Flag raising ceremonies.
Kellen, you know, the term says acting director, but of course you've been in position for 6 months now. What is it that you would most like to see happen as a part of Urban Renewal?
First of all, I think it's important for me to state that I'm governed by Christian principles. So if I could help someone, you know, I think that I'll know for sure that my living will not be in vain.
Absolutely.
And so I use that as a banner. One of the things that we must understand is the eradication of social ills is a lifelong process. And so I think I would want to be remembered as someone who have made the difference and made the difference in the sense of working hard and tirelessly to the point whereas Urban Renewal will be the resort that persons come to in an effort for help in the communities. And so I want to restructure, I want to build on a stronger foundation, things for the community, and I believe that I want to do it because they deserve better, and we want to give that good service. So that's what I want to do. Work to the point whereas they look to us as that can do it for help.
Absolutely, bridging the gap.
Yes, sir.
Bridging
Yes,
the gap. This morning we've been with the Acting Director of the Urban Renewal Commission, Mr. Kellen Russell, and the Program and Special Projects Manager, Mrs. Cheryl Knowles. Thank you so much.
Thank you too, sir.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
So who really own the Nassau Container Port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do. Thank you. I do.
I do. And one day, he will too. I do. Knock now.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
Hi, I'm Davriel and welcome to Rev Tips, where we answer your most important Rev service questions. Today's question is, how do I set up a Rev My account? It's super easy. To create a Rev My account, simply visit www.cablebahamas.com and click the My Account icon. Next, select the Create Account option. Please have a copy of your latest statement on hand. Enter the information as it appears on the statement to the respective areas on the form. When you've finished, click Create Account to continue with the process. Once you've registered your account, you can use your username and password to check your account balance, view past statements, and pay your bill online. And that's your Rev Tip for this week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us next time.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the midway point on this always informative Monday edition. We've got Gandhi Pinder joining me in studio. Star is doing her thing. She's traveling.
Yeah, she's doing
one of
her
the things
thing.
I forgot to mention in that segment with InvestStar is that persons who are interested would have to, you know, in addition to the application, bring a proper form of ID as well.
Okay, yeah.
And of course the cash. I mean, the cash. It's interesting. I mean, just reading this.
Money, money, money.
Have you done it yet? Made investment or?
I have not done it yet.
You're going to be in
I've
that.
invested in certain things.
But not this yet.
No.
Not this
not,
yet.
No, not yet.
Good.
You didn't got me bird
I
side.
know. I
My
hear him over
matching
there.
to the other day, I have to be laughing at me with this Anderson Cooper laugh.
I'm not going to say a word.
So, see now, you caused me
That's all right, man.
have a little senior moment. But I wanted to say something because we forget. Oh, yeah. I was on my phone because I was trying to connect with the beautiful people on the Facebook live stream. So Bahamas at Sunrise, please stream with us, and please know that there's a rebroadcast of the show for those people who were not up at
You watch it all the time. I see your comments all the time. I'm watching Facebook Live, Bahamas at Sunrise, wherever you are.
I try to, tune in. I just love it. I love the banter, and you all are amazing. It's just so refreshing.
Yeah.
So can I talk about the BET Awards?
Very briefly.
Okay, do you know Cardi B?
No, oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I make money moves.
Well,
Since
I
she was
don't know
talking
the
about
song, but I know the
InvestStar.
name,
Anyway, that's her old song. She has a new song with Clout with her husband Offset, who's a part of Migos. You know all those rappers. Yeah. Woo,
okay, yeah.
woo. Anyway, they opened the BET Awards, and then they had a wonderful tribute, not Cardi B in those, but in the program, to Nipsey Hussle. And they were talking about entrepreneurship. So I love that the community is talking about that. Mary J. Blige was there, and then the Central Park 5. And they got a standing ovation. That is a powerful story, and everyone is watching When They See Us on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
A friend of mine suggested that I, take my kids and see that. Is it something that?
It's pretty deep and it's pretty emotional. So if you're ready to have that entire conversation, then about like race and justice or lack thereof in the system, then if you want to know something funny.
Yeah.
I don't know how funny it is. So Cam Newton, the NFL player, he was coming from Fashion Week in Paris, and he was on the plane. Apparently, I don't know, he must have been in coach. I don't know why he wasn't in first class. He went up to someone in first class and asked them to switch with him so he could have more leg room, and offered to pay them $1,500 so he could have their seat, and they told him no. And so now it's trending, and he's shamed.
Yep. He should have stayed where he was. I mean, first class was full, right? But anyway, we've got more to come on the show. St. Agnes Church.
They're laughing at us. Yeah, St. Agnes. And it's going to be a good time. I love these fairs, and they always have great music and great games and great food. So please support and take the families always for a greater cause.
Yeah, and of course the budget debate is still a hot topic. So in our legal aid segment with Providence Law, we're going to be talking about that.
Yeah, and I know like they had the nationals and everything, the Rev competition over the weekend, and Ariel Weish, she cleaned up. I was like, girl, how many gold medals are you gonna get? I was like, send me a picture so I could please celebrate you online. She got like 4 or 5 gold medals. She won just about every event.
Yeah, listen, they are doing extremely well, and they deserve our continued support. But listen, are
you a sports dad?
Sports dad, yeah, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Soccer,
Soccer, everybody does soccer.
Okay.
Well, anyway, listen, we've got more weather.
You see Terrence, Terrence go,
second, right? I see Terrence. Second look at weather at sunrise with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First in Insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Phil, and good morning, Bahamas. And yes, Circle Record Brother Sunrise, a trip around the tropics. The tropics remain quiet, and tropical storm formation not expected over the next 5 days. On the local scene, high pressure dominates the weather across the islands. We do have a mid-up level trough just to the north of the islands, and that could produce a couple of showers or even possible thunderstorms, particularly over Grand Bahama and Abaco, Bimini, during the daytime. In your marine forecast, winds today through Wednesday will be variable at 10 knots or less. That's less than 3 feet on northwest and central Bahamas. East to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet. over the southeastern islands. Your tides. Had a low tide at 6:01 this morning. Next high tide will be at 2 minutes past midday this afternoon. Low again this evening at 6:02. Sunset will be a minute past 8 this evening, right at 6:22. UV index 9. Your water temperature 78 degrees Fahrenheit. And your moon phase, you're now moving towards the last quarter. Your 5-day weather outlook, partly sunny skies through Wednesday. Then we have a mix of sun and clouds with rain chances come with 20 to 30% on Thursday and Friday. Those temperature daytime again will be in the low 90s at nighttime, around the 80-degree mark. That puts a wrap on your final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star. Back to you, Gandhi.
I've got all day.
Yeah, let's go.
Sprained her ankle.
He's lie, babe. She just finished watching this movie.
How old was I? 4 days?
She always just play the same in every episode. I don't understand it.
See what y'all missing is y'all need to get to season 3, man.
I thought
season 1.
They say season 2 was where it started, though.
Alive Postpaid. You're there for your friends when it matters, and we're here for you with more data to stream all the shows and movies you love.
Sorry about that, guys.
And I'm the sole heir. With our letters of notification were returned.
What's it you doing in here, though?
Come on, man, it's the best part.
For everything that matters. Alive. Believe in best.
This summer, take off with Shell. Spend $20 or more in fuel and enter to win. You and a friend can experience Bruno Mars live in concert in Viva Las Vegas. Or relax in picturesque Harbor Island for the regatta. Or plan an exciting vacation for 4 to Orlando. Fuel up at your nearest Shell service station and you can also win thousands of dollars in free gas, Bahamas Air vouchers, Super Value gift certificates, or one of many new iPhones that will be given away this summer. So hurry into your favorite Shell location and enter to win. Like us on Facebook for more chances to take off with Shell and win today.
Thank you, Godfrey, and thank you, Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker's over there like, and go. This Saturday, the June 29th, we will be at the Southern Recreation Grounds because St. Agnes Anglican Church will be hosting their fair and raffle. It is always a good time, always so fun. Like the young people say, y'all let's be lit. It just means it's a fantastic time. And we have members of St. Agnes, and it's Karen, spelled K-Y-R-O-N. I was saying Godfrey Burnside. Say, I know she changed her name now, but in school she was Karen Strawn. And we have Megan, and we also have Samantha. Top of the morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, you all look so lovely and ready to go. Oh, thank you so much. So now, each year the fair has a theme. What is the theme this year, or what will the vibe be like?
Well, the vibe this year, Gandhi, is come and celebrate with us.
That's a good one.
St. Agnes has been around for a very, very long time.
That's true.
100 and
plus VAT and tax.
All of that.
52?
And 72, 172,
Wow.
right? So we have been a staple in the grandstand area.
Absolutely.
We are the cathedral over the hill, right? And this Saturday, we are holding our not every year fair, but we have it every other year.
Oh, so you definitely can't miss this one, because then you got to wait till
if you
2021.
miss this one, you miss a real fair this year.
You miss it,
okay?
you miss it.
St. Agnes, we have over 40 stalls. We have some mouth-watering dishes, fried fish and grilled pork and
plenty pepper and
surf and turf.
What?
Our fair
Surf
is
and turf at the fair?
At the fair. Our ACM does it in style. Okay, we are different.
Yeah.
We are
You're
different. Okay, we
and
have an exotic plant store, so you can't miss it.
Oh, my
Tell
mother
my
and
I was
aunts
just
shall
about to
be
tell
there,
you
present,
that.
front,
Tell
and
them,
center stage.
come and get first choice.
You don't even have to say
Okay?
exotic. Once you say plant,
Plant.
they will be
All
there in
right.
half of the Bahamas. Okay.
So we are looking to have a very good time, right? This is what you called at the Archdeacon William Thompson Park, but better known as the Southern Recreation Ground, right? So we are asking the Bahamas, Nassau, come and celebrate with us. Come and just have a good time. Clean, fun.
Now, I'm going to turn it over to these two ladies here, and I'm just going to start throwing things out. So tell us about the raffle, tell us about the time, tell us about the games, and, you know, continue to tell us about the vibe. We heard a brand, it's a vibe.
So we're going to have a kitty corner for the kids. We're going to also have face painting.
So like with all the fun stuff, like the bouncing castle.
Right,
and
so
that
it's
kind
going
of
to
thing,
have
fun
bouncing castle. It's going to be $10. And parents can leave their kids. It's going to be supervised. And they can go and enjoy the other amenities offered at the fair.
Wow.
And we're going to also have balloons, face painting, kids hoopla, all of the good works.
Okay.
So we're going to have lots of other goodies for the kids, foods and treats, and those kind of stuff.
I need to know if y'all having crab and dough, because with all these stalls of what?
No, but we
So
are
come
having
Sam,
crab and
come Sam. Let me know.
Yes, we are having crab soup, not crab and dough. Crab soup with the ACW, which is our
And dough is being
Anglican
in the soup.
Christian women, and dough in the soup, of course, with our Anglican Christian women, and they have lots of home cookery items for us to enjoy.
This sounds so fun. Like, and the fact that you have a kiddie corner, so people, you can come there. What time does the fair begin?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. until when?
Until the last person leaves.
Just
We
until.
will be rocking until the last person leaves.
Usually, what time does it die down so people can have
At
an
about
idea?
11 p.m.
We're there all day.
All day.
Our opening
my
ceremony
weekend
is
set.
at 3. We have the Royal Bahamas Police Marching Band. We have the Urban Renewal Marching Band. We have Darnell Dorset. I'm sure you know our songstress.
Absolutely.
Well, she will be singing the national anthem. And our youth department will be performing. They will take this fair by storm.
This is a big time situation. Now, we need to, this all well and good. That's fun. We're going to be there. We want to support. We're supporting because you mentioned where St. Agnes is and located and the work now that you do. This is to raise funds to continue that great work.
Correct.
Please tell us about it.
St. Agnes has been in that community for a very, very long time. So, and it's vast, all right? Even though the parishioners have moved out to the suburb, right? The community is still there. So our priest has a lot to do within the community. The funds will be raised for the continuing work of the church, the building fund, the community work. So we, as a community-minded congregation, hope to raise enough funds to continue this work within the heart, and you know Grandstand is the heart of Nassau.
Well, that is good. I want to give each person like 10 seconds to wrap.
You haven't heard from our raffle yet. Talk about the raffle.
Okay, so whoever wants to do that, you can have the last 30 seconds to tell us about it.
All right, our raffle is a dynamic one. Once you see the ticket printed, it's beautiful, live, and in living color. The prizes that we have are dynamic. We have 2 certified pre-owned vehicles to win, a Caribbean cruise, $5,000 scholarships, $4,000 scholarships to the school of your choice. So it's not just
these heat these days, now the cars be stopping in the middle of the road.
Oh no,
we
these
need a
cars
new car.
will not be stopping in the middle of the road, air conditioned, fully cleaned.
Exactly.
And
so a lot of people need a new car.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Plus we have 19 prizes on the
So come on out this Saturday, Southern Recreation, St.
right.
Agnes Fair. Now, Chris, what are you supposed to do now? I go on a commercial break, or who are you sending it to? Downstairs? To Phil? Or to, okay. Thank you for tuning in to Bahamas at Sunrise. I send it where Chris tell me to send it. See you soon.
Thank you very much, Gandhi. And this edition of Legal Aid, we have the managing partner once again of Providence Law, and we are talking the national budget.
Hooray, how exciting.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I wanted to put debate in quotes, but okay, all just aside, it is a very, very serious, you know, undertaking. Yeah. And it's a mandatory undertaking. I mean, you know, so why is it that every government, and of course the opposition, makes such a big deal over the annual budget?
Right. Well, initially and most importantly, it is actually a constitutional provision. The Constitution mandates that the government of the day must provide an estimate of revenue and expenditure on an annual basis. Okay? So that's important. Secondly, if the government is going to do that, governments make promises when they get elected. And so normally then you have to show to the public that you're fulfilling the promises that you've made, and normally that comes through how you're going to spend the public's money.
Right.
Okay, and the opposition thinks it's a wonderful platform because they get to then show that you're not doing what you promised to do, or here are the shortfalls, etc. So it really has become a very big political exercise, but truthfully, it's a very, very important financial exercise for funding the government.
And of course, like you said, by law, you have to, so the Ministry of Finance can't just table a document and then move on.
No,
all right,
absolutely.
So every year when the budget is presented in Parliament, the government seems to table amendments, what we'll call like Revenue Act, Stamp Tax Act, the Value Added Tax, Real Property Tax, the business license, and it goes on and on. Why is this necessary? Every year.
You would think that the government makes up its mind what it's going to do, and then it sticks with it. But governments are continuous and ongoing, and I think what happens from time to time is they're always trying to find a way either to increase revenue, close loopholes, and so they keep tweaking these acts, okay? So the Stamp Act, the Value Added Tax Act, the Real Property Tax Act, these are always ones that they're always tweaking it, trying to find a way to increase revenue. Of course, with Value Added Tax last year, they increased. They increased the tax. But this year they didn't.
Yeah, thankfully they didn't this year, but any other significant changes to that particular one, which is always a hot topic, that would have happened this year?
Yeah, Value Added Tax hasn't been increased.
Thank God.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. But one of the significant things that they have done is they have lifted all of the real property tax, transfer tax provisions, which were under the Stamp Act. You know, you would pay stamp duty on a transfer or sale of property. They've moved that all from the Stamp Act to the Value Added Tax Act. Okay, and that includes things like the exemption. So first-time homeowners, they can apply, they would have been able to apply for a stamp exemption. They now can apply for value-added tax exemption. Okay, and so all of that has now been moved. I can only assume that it's an administrative decision. I don't quite understand the rationale, because previously,
you're not going to get it
2
back.
years ago, we used to pay tax under value-added tax on real property, and then they moved it to stamp tax last year, and now it's coming back to value-added tax.
I mean, but does it really, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference from the government's perspective.
They're collecting the same amount of revenue. They didn't increase the rates on what was previously stamp tax. So the rates are the same. So they're not going to be collecting any more. But they're collecting it from the Inland Revenue Department rather than the Treasury, which was responsible for the collection of stamp duty.
And of course, for those persons in that industry, the VAT is significant versus stamp, because you have to get it back. Otherwise, it's just simply a pass on at the end of the day. How significant would you say are the estate planning provisions that allow for the transfer of gifts of real estate to immediate family members? That's kind of new.
This is a good one, because previously under the stamp regime, you can only transfer property without having to pay the tax if there's no change in beneficial ownership. So let's say Philip Simon owns property in his personal name and he's transferring it to a company that you 100% beneficially own, then you wouldn't be subject to stamp tax under those conditions. Now, with the new provisions, what is allowed is that you can still do that, but you can also transfer property to your parents, your children, without having to pay a transfer tax. So that's a significant change. The only caveat to that is that once you've done that, you cannot transfer the property further within a 7-year period. So you can't a year later say, okay, now I'm going to sell it.
Back and forth, right.
So, but it is a good estate planning tool. And previously it was very difficult to reorganize your assets, and now this makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, so there's some progress that's being made.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about the changes made to the Stamp Act.
Yes.
Do you see the eminent WTO ascension as being something in the thinking relative to how we're making these adjustments?
That's a good question. I mean, my thinking was that you would be looking more at the customs duty and the import regime as it relates to WTO. So I'm not really clear on what the driving force was in moving it from stamp duty.
Okay.
But certainly now the stamp regime is not going to generate that revenue it was previously generating.
Right.
And looking at the amendments, that seems to be the main thing that was done. I don't really see anything else significant that was done to the Stamp Act.
Any increases in real property tax or?
No, the real property tax rates remain the same, but there are two significant things. The definitions, for example, one, and this is again is a bit technical, there's a definition of owner-occupied property. The average Bahamian will pay based on their residential ownership of property. Last year, the government amended the act and made it, indicated that you must be in your home for 6 months to be eligible to be under this owner-occupied definition, which allows you to get certain exemptions and lower rates. Which meant that seasonal owners, people who only come to the Bahamas for 3 months or whatever period of time and live in their homes, were now going to be charged at a higher rate. Well, the government has kind of gone back to its former definition now, and instead of saying you have to be here for 6 months, it's just seasonal.
Okay.
So that makes allowance for those who are only here for a particular period of time.
Yeah.
Of course, that has certain political
Yeah,
implications
we won't say how
as
that
well.
came about or anything like that, but yeah, definitely. And of course, I mean, I think there's also now the Airbnb market's now taxable as well, which is a big deal because that's been an extremely fast-growing and new business opportunity for a lot of people.
There's one other thing quickly on real property tax. The chief valuation officer has been given increased powers to negotiate with people. So if you have arrears of taxes, under certain circumstances, the chief valuation officer can enter into agreements with you for up to 5 years to pay your arrears of taxes and also waive surcharges. You incur surcharges for late payment. Under those circumstances, he has the power to waive those surcharges. Okay, so the enforcement mechanism under real property tax, the government is trying to tighten.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
absolutely.
Final question, does our government generate, almost tongue-in-cheek, a surplus or at least break even on the revenue collects?
Boy, and as you and I were saying off camera, in my lifetime, I really don't recall the government ever being in surplus, you know, and they may have come close to breaking even at certain points, but we've always run deficits. And I think what has made it more acutely significant is in the last 10 years, these are like $300, $400, $500 million deficits. You know, it's one thing if 10, 20, $30 million deficit, you could kind of absorb that. But it's really been big.
Right.
There has been a reduction in the deficit from last year, okay? But with the increase in value-added tax, you would have thought that it would have come down a lot more.
Right. Well, there's a lot of enforcement that has to be, because there's a lot of money sitting up there that needs to come in. Merritt, listen, thank you once again.
Always good.
For joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise. Nadia? Anyway, you're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
How are we making Rev work wonders for you? We are doing it together. You told us what you want, and we've heard you. Want faster broadband? How about speeds up to 1 gigabit per second? Want shorter house calls? 2 hours max. We promise. Want to take your entertainment anywhere? Well, your Rev Go Play app is here. Rev, we've heard you. You speak, we listen. Rev, you and us together.
One thing, two things. Blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
you could do.
Thank you so much for watching this edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. That's Shelly in the background doing the little Gandhi point there. Gandhi, good to see you, man.
Good to see
Good to see you. Good to see you.
My good friend from long time.
Yeah, I know, right? Long time. You mentioned something with Alia?
Yes, absolutely. So Alia, Dr. Alia Patrice Campbell, her mom, Patrice Campbell, you know, her mom battling cancer. Alia is a cancer survivor. So many wonderful people and survivors were celebrated at a tea party this weekend. And so we had a good time celebrating them. I want to say hello to Ali Campbell. Everybody named Ali. I also want to say that the St. Agnes Fair, so they will be selling the raffle tickets today at CBS in Southwest and then at the former City Market in Cable Beach.
All right, go out, get your tickets so you can be there this weekend. Listen, have a wonderful week.
Thank you, Brenda.
All right, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Okay, wrap it up. Do you know Raymond?